Good morning and welcome to the Native News Today. Gerald Wofford with Jason Salzman on our 25th episode of the Native News Today. And we kind of decided to break from the norm just a little bit and decided to sit down and to bring you our show today.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you do 24 episodes, you think a guy could take a day off, and we're not going to stand up this time. My feet's hurting, my back's hurting. No,
we walked from Alabama.
Yeah,
that's why
definitely.
Our feet are hurting.
Alabama Coshada. Hey.
But hey, as always, we thank you for joining us this morning, and we feel we got a great show lined up for you today. Shows or episodes from news segments, I should say, from all over Indian country. We ventured out west, where right now, November 7th, is the general election. So political season is heavily upon us right now, and you got to visit one of the candidates, right?
Yeah, Jerry Askins. She's a lieutenant governor for the state of Oklahoma. You know, Indian people aren't just Indians, they're Oklahoma citizens. So when those healthcare programs help them out, or they provide jobs, those are providing jobs or healthcare not only to Indians but Oklahomans as well. And those politicians realize that, and that's been a major reason that this election will be very important with the influence of Native American people.
Yes, the Native vote is definitely strong this political season, so we'll catch up with Jerry Askins, Lieutenant Governor, here shortly. Also talking with the Oklahoma Historical Society, they visited Muskogee Creek medicine man Dave Lewis.
A great job there by Gerald going out and tracking down David Lewis. He's a very strong figure within the Muskogee Creek tribe. He's an elder. He served on the National Council of the Creek Nation, which is the legislative body there. So a lot of people know David Lewis Jr., and a lot of people know the impact he's had on certain lives, which like the stories you've told here today. And great job.
And also, too, we went over into Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Performing Arts Center there, along with the American Indian Theater Company, is presenting a play, and through the magic of television, this production is still going on. It was going on last week. It's going on tonight as well. It's called What's a Christopher Columbus? Now, it was written, directed by Muskogee Creek playwright Will Hill. Now, for a lot of you who know the American Indian theater scene locally, Will Hill is known. He even played Sequoia in the amphitheater drama over in Tahlequah, the Trail of Tears there. Done a lot of Native American theater, so we're going to catch up with him, why he wrote the play. It's kind of a satirical look, if you will, of the recent Columbus Day and the celebrations and everything that go with it. So
well, I'll tell you what. What's a Christopher Columbus? I mean, it's a glorified phony.
Well, we'll bring you that story here shortly, and we'll delve into a little more about this subject too with Columbus, because we've got some other information to share along those lines of the celebration of Columbus Day here shortly. Native American College Fair happened at the downtown Tulsa Library, Central Library there. Teresa Runnels has been a director there for maybe about a year or so.
Teresa does a great job too.
Does a great job.
Wonderful.
And so we're going to bring you some information and news about how the Native American College Fair is benefiting local students here.
And we also got your Native News Today weekly calendar full of a lot of Indian events going on in the area. So if you're out there out and about, check them out, mark your calendar. Get ready, they're coming at you. And what else is coming at you is a lot more great Native American stories. We're going to get right into those after this first break. You're watching the Native News Today.
Today's world is far different than the one our ancestors knew. But though times have changed, we the Muskogee Creek people remain a strong people. Many of our traditions continue to thrive in today's modern world. For 1,000 years and more we have been here, and we will be here for 1,000 more. Times have changed, but so have we, and the Muskogee Creek people are a part of this time, this country, and this economy. And welcome back to the Native News Today. Gerald Wofford with Jason Salzman. We ventured over to the state capitol, where political season is upon us here. Of course, November 7th being the general election day. But you got a chance to speak with Jerry Askins.
Yeah, Lieutenant Governor of the state of Oklahoma, Jerry Askins, does a great job in that stead and bidding for election come November 7th. Does a wonderful job recognizing the full extent of the people that she wishes to reach. And one of the things that's a part of that is she made a stop at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Oklahoma City for the conference of the United Indian Nations of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas, which formerly this has been the Tribal Summit, which has allowed for candidates to speak to tribal members to speak to candidates. And it's put on by the Native Vote United campaign. They do a great job getting out the importance of voting to our Native people, especially in this election. And I got to just got to talk with Ms. Askins there a little bit about those things as well. And here's what she had to say.
The first thing I want to talk to you about is just kind of in general, being in a high-profile position, up for a high-profile position as you are in a public office. The state of Oklahoma has a very unique opportunity with the 39 Indian tribes represented here. The state of Oklahoma has embraced that in recent years and recognized that opportunity to make it a better state with the economics and things like that, the healthcare systems of that sort. Is that something that you continue to support? I mean, being here today, that's obvious, but I know you're a big supporter of that.
Absolutely. If we talk about the opportunity to move Oklahoma forward, we need partnerships at many different levels. And certainly one that has improved in the last 4 years is the partnership between our Native American people and the state of Oklahoma government. I think that's important as we begin to go forward into Oklahoma's next 100 years, that we find many more areas of common ground and areas where we can work together to move forward together.
Definitely. I think that the current administration of Oklahoma leaders has done a good job of that. I believe that with people such as yourself up for public office, that will continue. Is that something that's vital to the state? I mean, I know the state's prospering right now, and we've sort of reached this birth of success, and we're getting better. Is that something that's going to be vital for that to continue?
I think it's absolutely essential if we are going to continue to experience the same kind of progress, because everyone, our Native American tribes in Oklahoma, everybody's got different areas of economic development. And so when one is successful, there may be another that is going through a hard time, but when we are all working together, then it all balances out and no one gets left behind.
You've been doing these kind of things for a long time. How has it changed over the years? Have you seen the Native people become more of a force in this state? And if so, has that been something that's been positive?
I think the Native American tribes in Oklahoma have done a wonderful job of providing job opportunities and helping not just provide economic development for their people, but at the same time have helped get the Native Americans in Oklahoma more involved in their entire state government, not just tribal government, but state government. And as that involvement becomes more active, then everyone in Oklahoma is going to benefit.
Definitely, and it seems like you're on the right track. Let's remind those people at home when they can go to the polls and make sure that you get in that office there.
Thank you. November the 7th is the opportunity to vote for Jerry Askins for Lieutenant Governor.
All right, and we'll be keeping a close eye on that. And certainly thank you for your time here today. We know you're a busy woman.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right.
And good story there reported from the state capitol, Jason Salzman.
Thank you, Gerald. Appreciate that, man.
Well, we know the Native vote is very strong, and of course we remind you again, November 7th, general election date.
Very important date.
Get out and make your voice heard. Get out and vote.
Exactly right. Listen to this man. He knows what he's talking about. Hey, speaking of this guy, he was out and ventured out and was able to pick up just a great story on one of the elders of the Muskogee Creek Nation, Medicine Man, David Lewis Jr. And Gerald, it's not like David, Mr. Lewis is he just came on the scene here. He's been involved in Muskogee politics, traditional healing for a long time. So this is obviously nice to be able to sit down and talk with him.
Yes, absolutely. At one time, he served on the National Council, represented the Okmulgee District. David Lewis Jr. comes from a long line of medicine men, and that office, and it really is an office. I mean, there are other officers in the tribe. There's a Miko, a leader, a chief, a speaker, and a medicine man. And David Lewis comes from that. And recently, he donated some items to the Oklahoma Historical Society. Items such as gourd and some other items that were used in his medicinal practices. So we want to share this story with you. Dr. Mary Jane Ward from the Historical Society was on hand there, received the items, talked about how important it was that they'll go into the exhibition there at the museum. But along with that story as well, we got some comments from David Lewis Jr. about how one time he treated a person for a very bad ailment in their leg and what he did to cure that with the Indian medicine he used. So I think you'll find that very interesting here. So here's a story here now with David Lewis Jr.
I'm Dr. Mary Jane Ward, and I am Indian historian at the Oklahoma Historical Society. We are very much appreciative and very excited about this gift from David Lewis Jr. It will be added to the collections at the Oklahoma Historical Society. We will do our best to take good care of it, but at the same time it will be an opportunity for us to put away and to preserve some of the tools that he has used over the years and that his family has used over the years in serving the Creek people, in healing, and in other areas. So we're very excited about this gift, and I think this is probably the first thing of this type that we've received.
This little horn here, the last time I used that, it's years ago. But a man was complaining about his leg, that he was hurting so bad he couldn't sleep. But when I looked at it, man, it was, I mean, it had a big red spot on there. And then I had a glass, real sharp glass. I cut it just like that. And I took this horn and I sucked that thing. Then it started coming out. And then I pulled this away and I took my finger and I pulled it on out. It was a tail of a scorpion.
All right, great story there by Gerald Wofford visiting with David Lewis Jr., the Muskogee Creek Nation medicine man. All right, we're going to get right back to more stories right after this break. Stay right with us. You're watching the Native News Today.
Smali, tasa ko susinili ang ginaistun sanga.
Pangana sa iba hayat kaus.
Kada magas.
Pangana sa hayat kiduang noke.
Fanny molo jo subananga.
Tu mo sa atin.
Isla hani subani doang.
What? Hiji mo katsari chin hisakta da stumidanga.
Mahisi mokka se di wekki diga. Hisagida ran hisiga. Ampane hayat kiduang.
The Muskogee Creek Nation Tobacco Prevention Program offers all cessation classes to young and old. For more information about a healthier life and a second wind, contact one of these centers nearest you.
Hizida, Hilishwa Fatsa, CNA the dos, Moes.
Well, hisi mokkeskera mokkeen zaknoat stinokkesis, stilizi duis.
Well, one gentleman who put his spin on the Columbus celebration and everything is Creek playwright Will Hill. Now, Will has done a lot of acting here in the area and as well as at the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. But a play that he is producing is called What's a Christopher Columbus? Now, the show is going on down at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center downtown.
PAC!
That's right, and it's kind of, it's in conjunction with the American Indian Theater Company as well. Now, we got to sit down and talk with Will and kind of explain why he wrote this play. It's kind of a satirical look. Christopher Columbus is on trial. And if you really want to find out more, go see the play. It's going to be happening tonight there at the Tulsa PAC. We'll put all the information across the screen here as we show you this new segment here with Muskogee Creek playwright Will Hill. Native American theater is always exciting to watch, and tonight was certainly a great treat. We watched the play, What's a Christopher Columbus? And I'm speaking with a very talented gentleman right here, artist, actor, director, Mr. Will Hill. Mr. Hill, we appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. History.
Well, I wanted to talk about this play this evening, What's a Christopher Columbus? Tell us a little bit about it, and what was your inspiration for creating it?
Well, some time ago I was asked, I guess back in '92 at the 500 celebration of the Columbus landing, to create a venue or a play that would be something that would be thought-provoking. And so I sat down to actually figure out how this story could be told. And the only avenue that was open to me was humor, to tell it in kind of a dark comedy that would bring a smile, but also be able to bring out the facts that regarded all of the landing and all the things that happened after the landing in the Americas that Columbus had. So that's where I started out. And Native people, we love to laugh anywhere you go. It's always something very funny for us to experience and have. And so with that, that's what I incorporated into this particular production.
Now, I want to talk about one of the cast members that's probably become a partner of yours in the past few years, Janine Washington.
Yes, Janine Washington. Well, I tell you, we're both Smithsonian artists, and we were given that award back in the year 2004, or that great honor, when they opened the Smithsonian there in Washington, D.C. We became the very first to perform there at the great Rasmussen Theater at the National Museum. But as my assistant director, and I don't want to give too much away because I want you to come see the play, basically that she brings a lot of wonderful talent and humor, as well as a wonderful, wonderful way of telling stories. She's a wonderful storyteller as well as an actress, recording artist as well. She's recorded a song called The Greeting Song that's available on cdbaby.com. So she is just a wonderful fireball of a talent, and I'm always glad to have her on staff whenever we do a show or we mount a project.
After this production is over, what are your immediate future plans in the theater?
Well, we've got a great production that we're mounting, and if you're interested in being in Indian theater, contact the AITCO, because in December we're starting a very special production called Song of the Winter. And it is a story about Native America during the holiday season. And it brings a lot of rich, warm humor, as well as a lot of wonderful music that helps people understand that we celebrate the holidays here as well in Native America. Every little community, church, ceremonial ground, powwow grounds, they all have a little observance of that particular holiday, especially with kids coming back from the service or coming back from college or boarding school. We still have a little family get together in every little home, and that's what this story is about. So if you're interested in a lot of fun and just and enjoying putting on a production, come join us at the ITCO.
And there you have it, folks. Native American actor and artist, Mr. Will Hill. We appreciate your time, sir.
Gerald, thank you very much. It's been a grand honor.
All right, great job by Gerald Walford there, visiting with Will Hill, Muscogee Creek Nation playwright, and going on tonight, this Saturday night here at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center.
That's right. We'll scroll the phone number across the screen here about how you can call for ticket information. Go out and see a very fun play tonight. What's a Christopher Columbus, playwright Will Hill's production.
Should be a great event. All right, if you're out there right now, you're a high school senior and you have college on your mind, the right decision is the one that you have to make. It's very important to get all the information, all the resources you need to make the decision that's best for you. And for Native American students, Native American College Fair is coming up. Teresa Reynolds, the Tulsa Public Library, American Indian Resources Center there, does a fantastic job. Gerald, tell us about that a little bit.
That's right. They just recently held their Native American College Fair. A lot of information out there, and just one way for the Tulsa City County Library that gives back to the Native American community.
My name is Teresa Reynolds. I'm the American Indian Resource Center Coordinator at the Tulsa City County Library, and this is the 5th annual College Fair for American Indian students. It began 5 years ago at the Maxwell Park Library, and last year we moved it down to Central because it outgrew their facility. And this year we have had many people come through here. We've had colleges and tribal representatives come, and right now we have a presenter speaking on scholarships. Kara Callan Watts is telling how to go about getting a scholarship, what you need to do. We have had ongoing database training on learner tests and college sources that are offered here at Central Library, Tulsa City County Library. Basically, anything's possible. If you can dream it, we can help you achieve it.
All right, Teresa Reynolds there, and great job they do with the Native American College Fair. Hey, if you're sitting there right now and you're wondering if there's some great things going on in Native American Native American country this week or this weekend, don't really have anything to do yet, don't have any plans, hey, let us help you out. Let us help you plan your calendar. We got the Native News Today weekly calendar of events coming up, and we'll take you to it right now before this break. But make sure and come back with us as we close out Native News Today.
Here at the College of the Muskogee Nation, we pride ourselves on emphasizing Native culture, values, language, and self-determination while providing a positive learning environment for tribal and non-tribal students. We encourage our students to be lifelong learners and to strive for personal growth, professional advancement, and intellectual advancement. Muskogee Nation College. Academic achievement, Native values.
And welcome back to the Native News Today. Gerald Wofford with Jason Salzman. And Jason, we just want to kind of give a quick preview to our audience of our next week's Native News Today program.
Oh yeah, you definitely don't want to miss next week. We were talking about the elections earlier, and certainly as far as Native Americans go, one of the most sought after and watched elections right now, and elections and campaign trail right now, is the race for state treasurer. I mean, really, everybody in Indian country has talked about this for a long time. And next week, we will have both the current treasurer, Scott Meacham, and his Republican counterpart, who is running against him, Howard Barnett. Both have reached out to the Indian people here in recent weeks, and it'll be nice to be able to show our listeners and viewers what side that they have and what they have to bring to the table.
Plus, as we mentioned, through the magic of television, as this program is going on later this afternoon at 2 p.m., at the historic Council Oak Park, there by Veterans Park in Tulsa, Oklahoma, is the annual Council Oak ceremony with the Muskogee Creek Nation and government officials. And we want to pull a new segment from our archive, of course, this being our 25th show. But one of the stories we covered there at Council Oak in months past was the meeting of the 5 tribes chiefs there, right?
Oh yeah, they were there to commemorate the Act of 1906. But just being in that setting, right there where the Creek Nation and the city of Tulsa, both coincidentally together, were started. Hey, that's special, and we were there, and we'll show you that just to get you kind of warmed up for the Council Oak ceremony.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sio. Ste. Chokma. One good thing about the 5 tribes, there's a couple of them that share the same greeting. Makes it easier on those MCs, I'll tell you. My name is George Tiger. I'm the speaker for the legislature of the Muskogee Creek Nation, and I'm honored to serve as the Master of Ceremonies for this very important, commemorative, historical occasion.
Today it's a very important day because we have to relearn and remind ourselves and our neighbors that our 39 tribes, and especially the 5 civilized tribes, continued in full force and effect through this entire last century. It gives us a great opportunity to become partners with our fellow Oklahomans to make this next century better.
It's important that we look back and remind ourselves of the almost 500,000 direct descendants of those people that are represented here today. And I look back and I look out on this crowd and I see those people and those faces that are representative of those ancestors that we left
continue on serving our people. The huge oak tree is still alive and well, representing the first council fire, and The Muskogee Nation is still alive and well in the city of Tulsa, the state of Oklahoma. 1906 was a memorable, historic day in the life of the 5 civilized tribes government. There were some things about it, obviously, we didn't like, but the fact it did happen, and it was a memorable day. It was an attempt to terminate our sovereignty. Today, April 26, 2006, was also a historic day in the life of the 5 civilized tribes. We survived. We not only survived, but we are thriving. It's incumbent upon us to act in great integrity and maintain a good life, and to be strong, and to carry out the culture and the traditions of our people, while at the same time making sure that our children and grandchildren are educated so they can compete in the world, so they too can make a contribution not only to Native people, but to people throughout the world, which we are doing. If you look at what the tribes have done in this state, there should not be one Indian who ever put your head down. We are a proud people. We always have been. And when you look at those statistics that government cares so much about, then you have to understand that we make a positive difference in our state. That we are not a liability, but in fact, we are a strong contributor to the state of Oklahoma. We are an asset to the state of Oklahoma.
Our survival was severely challenged. We were able to survive that period of time. And also during that period of time, it established the framework, the foundation for the relationship between the tribes and Oklahoma. The tribes were continuing full force and effect, and then 2 months later, Oklahoma was entitled to become a state, but only subject to the pre-existing reserved tribal rights. So there's a great myth out there that, we need to level the playing field. Well, that's the greatest statement of ignorance that you can have in Oklahoma history, because the playing field was struck 100 years ago.
We need to continue to educate the people around the country and around the world about what our tribal governments do and what we're all about. We're here to promote the common good for all of our people, and the strength of any of our nations is in our sovereignty, and we're all organized to prepare and take care of our citizens. Without our citizens and without their needs, there's really no need for us. So it's important for that we remember that.
Hey, there's so many great news stories happening out there. We gave you a lot today, tribal calendar and everything, but hey, they keep coming. You got news stories out there. We know you got some things happening out there, and we'd love to report them here on the Native News Today.
Exactly right. We want to hear from you and get a hold of us. Our telephone number is 918-732-7637, or you can reach us by fax at 918-758-0824, or you can reach us by email at jsalzman@muskogeenation-nsn.gov or gwofford@muskogeenation-nsn.gov. Okay, big lineup today, huge lineup next week. No reason you shouldn't tune in again. Next Saturday, 11 a.m., Gerald, take us to the house.
25th show and counting. As always, Big Mado, Big Wado, always thank you for joining us here. For our producer, Josh Slane, Jason Salzman, I'm Gerald Wofford. In the meantime, take care. God bless. We'll see you soon.